An Australian teenager gets $20,000 for discovering a unique Dorito chip. I mean, imagine if you were to actually get $20,000 for a Dorito. And we've all eaten Doritos. So let's get into the story and break this down. So, an Australian teenager is cashing in her chips after finding a puffy Dorito and putting it for sale online. So, Doritos is rewarding Riley Stewart, a 13-year-old from Queensland, with $20,000 for her entrepreneurship after she happened upon a unique air-filled Dorito among its flat counterparts in a bag of chips she was eating and putting the big guy up for sale. So the Gold Coast teenager's one-of-a-kind chip fetched bids of thousands of dollars, with eBay users pledging more than 100,000 Australian dollars after being on the auction block for just a few days. The find went viral on TikTok, where a clip of the chip quickly gathered over 2 million views. While the listing, which stated only Puffy Dorito one of a kind, has been taken down, the brand is rewarding Stewart's initiative with a fund worth $20,000. So that is pretty awesome. That is super awesome. So it's been a whirlwind of a couple of days for Riley and her family, and we've loved following her story, Doritos Australia Chief Marketing Officer Vandita Pandey said in a press release. We've been so impressed with Riley's boldness and entrepreneurial spirit, so we wanted to make sure that the Stewart family were rewarded for their creativity and love for Doritos. Ate the packet and found it, so I believe it is mine. So many others before Stewart have tried to make a buck off unique looking foods. Earlier this year, an Idaho teen sold a jar with a Dorito, and it is a conversation piece for $20. And in June, a chicken McNugget went for a mind-boggling $100,000 on eBay due to its resemblance to a character from the mystery video game Among Us. This also isn't the first time that a Dorito chip has deviated from its snack-sized triangle. Parent company Frito-Lay, a subsidiary of PepsiCo, launched a special foot-long Doritos, the biggest in the world, available for a limited time in 2018. So I thought this was a pretty cool story, but it's also something that you could kind of learn from this. So like, for example, the fact that someone like this 13-year-old or whatever basically looked at this like, you know what? This is unique. Let me see if I can make a buck. Right? Like this type of mindset that this girl has is basically one of like pretty much all the like entrepreneurs that you've heard about that like became like multi-billionaires, where from the very early age of their lives, they always try to make a buck doing something. So it's actually pretty cool that, you know, like the Doritos company and all that kind of stuff is actually trying to like back her and like trying to be like, hey, you know, like your spirit is pretty awesome. Right? Like you have an entrepreneurial spirit and we want to like help further that. And so basically the best thing for her to probably do with the $20,000 is probably keep about like $5,000 in like a savings account. Because the thing is like she doesn't, you know, maybe just have like $1,000 in a savings account because she doesn't really need much money at like 13 for really anything. So probably the best thing would be to either save it or invest it for her college tuition if she ends up going the college route, or putting it towards her very first business that she ends up creating. Basically use it as her starter fund for her very first business. Because I mean, starting a business with cash in the bank lessens the stress that you have on your shoulders and allows you to make better choices for the growth of the company, right? So I think that's probably the better option for her, just because her mentality, because she could easily start a business right now and start making money doing something. But either way, I think this is pretty cool. I think it's super cool that a company was able to do this, and also understand that like this is like a perfect marketing ploy for Doritos, right? Like Doritos is like, oh yeah, this is like super good to get like millions of clicks about this story with Doritos in it, right? Like it costs them like 20 grand, but they're probably going to get hundreds, if not millions of dollars worth of marketing around the brand of Doritos. And all these like international companies, right? All are very good at marketing. For example, Red Bull, their marketing is so on point, they're able to justify their pretty expensive prices for a single can of energy drink, right? Like it's crazy when you really think about it. When you're going to compare the prices between a Red Bull and any other energy drink, you're like, whoa, this is like a premium thing. And the reason why it is because they've basically established with their marketing that they're just a better brand, basically in the eyes of, the general public, right? Like they've been able to convince people enough to pay a higher price point for Red Bull, right? And other energy drink companies are not going to be able to do something like that, right? Like I've seen somewhere where like there's like a gas station where like a Red Bull costs like $7 for a single Red Bull. And so this is the power of marketing, because it gets into like a culture kind of thing, and like it just basically takes over. For example, another way to view this is like the Bang energy drink, and it comes to like all these like TikTokers or Instagram people or Instagram models. Basically, if you think of Instagram model, you're probably going to associate them with Bang energy, right? And so like the marketing that they spent, like Bang energy, the marketing they spent for all these like different influencers actually is worth far more to them than people actually realize, right? Because yeah, they might, like give an influencer maybe like $5,000 like a post or something, right? Depending on their size, right? But they could end up having like hundreds of thousands, if not millions of clicks to their website or to their brand, or to like get people aware of their brand, that in like traditional media would have cost them millions of dollars, right? So you can see how this could dramatically lengthen the scope within the culture, but then also just in an audience base of them doing something like this. So it's very smart for the Dorito company to do this. It's pretty cool for them to do this for this 13-year-old. And I think it's pretty cool that someone 13 is able to basically think of an idea. It's like, you know what? I want to make some money right now, right? And I think that's pretty cool. And a lot of people can learn from something like this situation. But either way, maybe you should just go and buy a bag of Doritos and see if you could pull out a $20,000 Dorito chip. Either way, that's pretty cool. By the way, if you need help with mastering your money, you need to get out of debt, you need or want to build up an emergency fund, you want to start investing for the future, your future, you want to build like a strong financial foundation, go down below and check out 40inbox.com and learn the secret to mastering your money. And we'll see you in future episodes. And feel free to share this with someone who thinks that they can't make money doing anything, because guess what? If someone can make 20 grand from a puffed up Dorito chip, right, that they didn't even buy, their parent did, you could probably make money doing anything, right? And by the way, hit the like button if you want to make 20 grand eating Doritos, because I certainly want to make 20 grand eating Doritos. Like, that would be like an amazing gig. Like every single month, you're just eating Doritos and you pull out this $20,000 Dorito chip.